A very good evening, everyone. We are glad to have you all today with us for the 8th session of the Skill Guide Career Development webinar series organized by the Professional Skills team of the Viking Club of University of Sri Jpura. Today's world always moves forward with new concept of entrepreneurship without having at least a basic knowledge about entrepreneurship, we can't survive nowadays. Therefore, having an adequate knowledge on entrepreneurship is very important. I think we have invited the ideal person to discuss. He is the CEO and the co-founder at Onlineaccounting.lk and is a lecturer. He is an entrepreneur. So, without further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Hashan Waduge to continue the session. Sir?
So thank you, Dilmi. So thank you very much for inviting me. So I think due to today's Asia Cup final, maybe attendance is a bit lower because I'm also waiting for that, even though I am having a session after that as well. So anyway, now let's directly go to the topic, right? So this is basically education and entrepreneurship, right? So I will use both Sinhala and English when conducting the session, right? I'm Sinhala English dekama use karanna. So I hope this audience, right, whoever is joining, so I think most of them are university students, maybe some others also join. Now you may wait. I will start with my presentation, right? I am having a small presentation, right? So education and entrepreneurship, right? So now I'm directly talking about starting a business, right? So you may wondering, so if we start a business, are we entrepreneurs? Api business එක පටන් ගන්නවා නම් අපි entrepreneur කෙනෙක්ද නෑ, right? If you are starting a business, that doesn't mean you are entrepreneur. ඔයා ව්‍යවසායකයෙක් කියලා කියන්න බෑ, right? So yes, okay, you cannot understand Sinhala. I will talk whatever I'm telling in Sinhala. I will tell in English. Don't. Okay? So what if you want to start a business? You are a businessman, right? But if you want to be an entrepreneur, is what? That is, you are starting something new, right? So something new, that also would be subjective, right? Why? So something new means, now if it is something new to Sri Lanka, right, you are a Sri Lankan entrepreneur. But let's say if it is not new to the world, so maybe that is also not a new thing, but it is subjective. I mean, it is comparative. So maybe you don't know whatever whoever this has done before, you don't know, right? But you are starting something, so you put your new things, new innovations and all, then you are entrepreneur. But let's say if you see something, okay, you are starting the same thing, so then you are not an entrepreneur, but you are a businessman. That doesn't matter, right? So in this discussion, I will divide, right, the audience, the businessmen, the entrepreneurs, right? Whoever the entrepreneurs produced in Sri Lanka, maybe in the world, into two categories. What are these? The two categories are, right? Right. So having a proper education and not having proper education. So what I'm telling as proper education is kind of a degree. If you have a kind of a degree, maybe professional qualification, right? Because we should have a criteria, right? Education criteria. If not, I cannot explain this. And the other one is not having a proper education. Again, education again, let's say below degree, you don't have a professional qualification, you are just after A level. Maybe if you are just after A level, I would say in this category, not having a proper education. This is just to simplify this, what I'm going to tell you, right? Right? I have to clarify something also, that is in education and intelligence. I need some answers. Can you tell me whether education and intelligence is same or not? Is it equal or not? Can someone tell me? I need answers for you all to the chat box, right? Okay, I'm getting answers, some answers. Maybe you can put for the everyone, right? So others also can see. Let me know education and intelligence. Is it equal? Education and intelligence කියන එක equal than at the, right? Equal than at the, right? It's not equal. Why? Because education is something that you improve, right? So intelligent is some, maybe intelligence coming from the born, right? You are a born talent, maybe, right? But education is something you improve. Maybe if you are an intelligent person, you don't need to put so much of hard work compared to others. Maybe with a limited time, you will grab, right? But if you are not an intelligent person, maybe you have to put your all hard work. So there are students, I'm seeing there are different students who are putting their whole effort to get the exam, get through the exam. And some students are spending in a smart way few hours, but getting through the exam. So that's the intelligent, right? So in this concept, may business in these businesses, you have to differentiate these, right? Because there are people who are very intelligent but not achieved the education level academically or professionally, but since they are intelligent, since they are extraordinary, they go to some levels of businesses, right? I will explain that, right? Now, first of all, I will go through this famous thing, right? After A level, right? A level, if someone is not done with the exams, this is something you see in the Facebook, right? Bill Gates also not graduated. Bill Gates also left the Harvard, and now he is the biggest entrepreneur in the world. Even Steve Jobs left the college, he even didn't achieve a degree. Mark Zuckerberg also not a degree, but eventually he became the entrepreneur of the century, maybe the digitalized entrepreneur, right? This is what the famous quote, right? We see. And Bill Gates උපාධි ගත්තේ නෑ මචං. එහෙම කොයි දාලා තියෙන පෝස්ට් එක දැකලා තියෙනවනේ. Right? Bill Gates also not achieved this, but he is now like this. Right? What is that? That is actually in Sinhala, if you those are baila. Why? Because that is not the truth. What is the truth? I will explain, right? What is the truth? Right? Can anyone tell me Harvard is which rank university? Harvard, if you know, this is Harvard College, right? He left from the Harvard College. Harvard University is ranked number, which rank? If you know, Harvard කියන්නේ ලෝකේ rank කීයද universities වලින්? Which rank? Harvard in the world. I will tell you three answers: first, second, or third. Currently, first, second, or third. First, second, or third. It's a second, right? Currently second, right? So we are talking about a second university. Does anyone know how Bill Gates entered to this Harvard? කවුරු හරි දන්නවද Bill Gates Harvard එකට ආවේ කොහොමද කියලා? Anyone know? Now you are getting into the maybe Jpura University by passing the A levels in high colors, right? So how Bill Gates සාමාන්‍යයෙන් Harvard යන්න බෑ. මාරු. It's very much expensive, right? So how Bill Gates got into that? How Bill Gates got into that, right? Bill Gates was a National Merit Scholarship winner, right? He was a National Merit Scholar. They make Facebook is only there is what? Bill Gates left Harvard and he became something like this. Do you know he scored 1,590 marks out of 1,600 on that scholarship exam, right? See that aptitude test, he scored 1,590, right? So just divide that 1,590 බෙදලා බලන්න. මම මේ කියන්නේ ඇත්ත කියන්නේ, right? Famous එක නෙවෙයි, real truth එක මම කියන්නේ. 1,590 divided by 1,600, it is how much? 99.37. Then may Bill Gates කියන මනුස්සයා. The person who you call Bill Gates. Tell me, is he intelligent or not? Intelligent or not? Someone tell me, based on this fact. Based on this fact, is he intelligent or not? Is he intelligent or not? Right? He is really intelligent, right? Yes, indeed intelligent, right? So why Bill Gates left the Harvard? Because he saw something that he could start with whatever the intelligence he is having currently, and he thought, so I should not continue the university. He was not sacked, right? He didn't fail exam. He himself left. Right? So එතකොට අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් දා Bill Gates educated නෑ කියලා. No, he is educated. If he wants to achieve from that pillar, he will maybe go to the lecturer level, right? Doctorate level, right? But he thought, okay, I see a business opportunity. So I think that I'm kind of an extraordinary person. I'm a person who could score 1,590 marks out of 1,600. Even now I got into the Harvard. So Harvard is a second university in the world, right? But I should not wait for the degree because he is seeing a different alternative, right? Different choice. So he selected that. So that's the truth. That's the truth, right? එතකොට දැන් මේක මේ අර A level fail ලා ඉන්න ළමයට දානවා මේක. එතකොට ඇත්තද අපි ෂෙයා කරනවා මේව දැක්කම. Is it good? No, right? මම නම් මේ වගේව ෂෙයා කරන්නේ නැහැ. ඇයි? මේවා බොරු. මේවා අර ළමයිගේ sensitive වෙන්න කියන දේවල් මේක දැක්කම අනිත් ළමයිකුත් හිතන්නේ අපිටත් Bill Gates වගේ වෙන්න පුළුවන්. බෑ අපිට එහෙම වෙන්න බෑ. Because Bill Gates, he is not deserved to go for a university and learn for 4 years and do that, because he is kind of a person who is having that kind of a knowledge even before going for the university. ඒක නිසා එයා ගියේ නැත්තේ. He thought, okay, I should not go. Why? So ඒක නිසා ගියේ නැත්තේ, right? So that's the truth. That's the truth. ඒක තමයි අපි දැනගන්න ඕනේ, right? So then Paul Jobs, do you know why? What is the truth behind that? Reed College was one of the expensive colleges, right? So his parents accommodated this. Okay, his parents told, okay, no problem, you go there. Actually, Steve Paul Jobs, he wanted to go to this college. He insisted the parents, okay, please admit me to that college. But when that is expensive, now later he told that, right? He did not want to spend his parent money on the education that is seemed meaningless to him. Why? What is that? Now he wants to develop something like Apple. So he thought, so whatever I'm learning here is not meaningful. Now let's say, right? So I want to be an accountant, right? So I got selected to medical faculty. So after selected to the medical faculty only, I thought maybe matale dekkama why hitana when I see blood I'm getting afraid. So I thought that I cannot be a doctor. ඉතින් එහෙම තියාගෙන පුතේ මේ ඩිග්‍රී එක කළා වැඩක් නැහැ නේ. ඒකේ තියා හිතුවා. So that is not meaningful to him. So he decided to different way. He decided a different way. So he went there and developed the Apple, right? So that was the real truth behind that. කාටවත් අර උඩ තියෙන overview එක මතු පිට කිව්වට අපි හරි අදහසක් දෙන්නේ නැහැ. So then the next one, that is Mark Zuckerberg. Now he left there Harvard University, right? That is in 2000. In 2000 he launched the FB app. He was 19 years. And in 2007, at the age of 23, he was the youngest self-made billionaire, right? He left Harvard in 2005. So when he is leaving the Harvard, he already made FB. Yeah, Harvard එකෙන් අයින් වුණාට එයා Facebook එක හදලා තිබ්බි. He already created Facebook, right? So after 1.5 years වගේ ඉඳලා තමයි he left. Why? Now lamai, I will ask you a question, right? For everyone who is in this meeting room. Now if you are in the university, right, in your first year you created something like Facebook. So Facebook is not in the world. Taan Facebook කියලා එකක් ඇවිල්ලා නැහැ, right? So once the first year goes, you see there will be a massive, right, demand for this, right? ඉස්සරහට එනකොට මේක මාරම ලෝකේ ජනප්‍රිය වෙන famous වෙන something like that it will become. will you continue your university studies in that case? Someone tell me, right? Within 1.5 years, you see, given you are earning money, right? You see, in 2 years, you will become the youngest billionaire, right? Youngest self-made billionaire, right? So what you will do? Will you continue? Will you continue, or you will focus on that business, right? Why should I? Because I see a different choice, right? Different alternative. So I thought in that case, okay, based on these two, I should select that. So that is the reason he left, right? Because these now I just looked at only 3, right, options. Make a තමයි search කරාම අර උඩින් මෙන ඔය left college එකකින් අය වුණා කියන උඩින් මෙන 3 දෙනාමයි. මම ඒ 3 දෙනාම අරන් තමයි ඔයාලට explain කරේ. මේගොල්ලෝ educated නැත්තේ නෑ, right? These people educated, right? These people are educated than the average people. That's the truth, right? These people are intelligent, right? So they thought, because they see a different alternative, very good alternative. So they got a decision, okay, I should not attend, right? Make how to fail with anyway, make how to sacrifice anyway, make how to leave, right? They left the university. That's the truth. Okay, they dropped out from the university. If they go there, they will reach the whatever the highest, but it's a choice, right? So මේක තමයි අර මම මේ ඔයාලට නිකන් මුලින්ම පැහැදිලි කරේ, right? අර කට්ටිය කියනවානේ ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ නැහැ එහෙම කියලා. ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. ඔයා ඇත්තටම ඔයා අර තව අවුරුදු 4කින් ඉගෙන ගන්න එළියට එන කෙනාගේ level එකේ කෙනෙක් නම් that's no problem. Why should you go for that, right? Okay, so just keep in mind, this is the famous thing, right? You will say from the entrepreneur's point of view, telling that putting down the education, you don't need education, but you can be something like that. This is the famous thing. So this is the truth. Okay, I just did it. Search anyway. I just researched and found this, right? So next one. Do you know now startup means what? Startup කියන ළමයි මේ business එකක් පටන් ගත්ත ගම, right? It's a new thing, right? We are starting something now. When we started online accounting, that is startup. But do you know 90% of startups getting failed, right? Failure rate of all startups, that is 90%, which means if there are 10 startups, you will see 9 getting failed, right? Only 1 is getting through. Even once the online accounting started, so many professional education institutes started, but only we survived. Even if I count, that is more than 10, right? Even from that only, also less than 10% survived. Why? What is the reason? Not having a proper education. Not having a proper education. This is kind of example from the USA, right? So USA is one who is having the best startup success rate, right? I can remember in my university graduation, right? My graduation ekedi aapu chief guest, he was telling, after Israel, Sri Lanka was the country who is having highest number of percentage wise startups. Again, compared to the total population in Sri Lanka, we are having the second highest number of startups, right? That person told, right? And Israel was the first, but Sri Lanka was the country who is having highest number of startups closing, right? From whatever the startups, the highest number of startups getting closed is Sri Lanka. පටන් ගන්න startups වලින් වැඩිපුරම වැහෙන්නේ ලංකාවේ. ඇයි? Education එක නැතිකම. ඒක තමයි main reason එක. Now this is example USA, right? So from this USA example, you can even search the 82% of successful business owners admit they have the right qualification and backed up experience. So backed up experience means you should have kind of experience to run a company even with limited cash flow, right? දැන් සමහර වෙලාවට අපි දැකලා තියෙනවා අවුරුදු 20න් 21න් entrepreneursලා වෙනවා, right? They may don't have a structured standardized qualification or experience, but in their life right? If you go back to like 2-3 years, they should have that experience. කොච්චර අපි කිව්වත් experience නැහැ කියලා තියෙනවා. එයාට ඒක structured විදිහකට ලැබිලා නැහැ. qualification එකක් කියලා certificate එකක් දීලා ලැබිලා නැහැ. They didn't get that as a qualification certificate. They just didn't get it as a service letter from a company as experience, but they should have got it somewhere else, right? Maybe some students who are doing events in schools and all, right? They are coming after A levels with kind of an organizing skill, right? So sometimes they go into become a very good person, right? Very good businessman, entrepreneur. Why? Because he is having that experience. So in USA, so 82% of, right? So out of 100, 82% of successful owners are having that proper education. So that's the reason why USA having the best startup success rate. So why Sri Lanka is not having that is because of not having a proper education, right? I will explain what you have to do, right? Now, this is the final conclusion on that. Now, Sri Lankan situation, right? If you see the Sri Lankan situation or Sri Lanka situation, let's say you are having 100 successful businesses. What api assume karno Lankawe successful businesses 100ක් තියෙනවා කියලා, right? What you see from this 100, right? 80 successful business people are from the below education level, right? 20 from the above proper education level. Right? What you told before is wrong. So you told that if you have education, so that is very much important for you to start a business, right? So maybe university students may get demotivated by looking at this. Okay, university students none will demotivate. Hey, it is below proper education level, right? Above what is happening? This 80 could have been from at least of 800 people who started the business, right? But this 20 you are getting is from what? Only around 30 people. 30 දෙනෙක් පටන් අරගෙන 20ක් ඉන්නවා, right? අර 80 ආවේ කොහොමද? අර 80 ආවේ පුතේ 800ක් විතර startups පටන් ගත්තා අයගේ. So that's the reason you see in interviews, YouTubes, and they say that, okay, I didn't have a proper education, mama campus ගියේ නෑ, mama professional qualification කරේ නෑ, එහෙම කියනවා නේද? ඒගොල්ලන්ගෙන් අනිත් පැත්තට අහන්න ඕනේ ප්‍රශ්න මොකක්ද දන්නවද? If they have children, you have to ask, so do you send them to schools? Do you send them to classes? Will you provide education to them, right? What you can see, they spend their everything to their children to give a proper education. Why? Because they also should have do the same, because they also didn't have a good education background. So they also should have do the same, so their children will achieve the same. No, why? They know that if they are having that proper education level, they could have developed their business into a next level, right? So what I'm telling you, so even a very less number of students are getting qualified to university. So I would say that is the cream of the Sri Lanka. But the thing is, the people, the students who are getting into the university is not willing to start a business. They are not risk, right? Risk seekers. You don't seek the risk and do something, right? So only from 30 people are attempting, or 20 getting successful. And from other 800, because they don't have options, right? Now you are getting into the university, maybe someone is going for a professional qualification, you are going your ladder, right? You are developing your career. But the rest of them, so they don't have options. So what they are trying, they try every day to do something. And එහෙම කරන crowd එක වැඩි. ඉතින් පුතේ crowd එක වැඩි වුණාම එතනින් එන percentage එක අඩුයි. But if you take as a whole, right, total business people, that is 80% of the people who are below education level, and the 20 are the proper education level, right? So that's my criteria. දැන් මෙතන කවුරු හරි ඉන්නවා නම් ඒ proper education level එකේ නැති මම මේ ඔයාලා පහලට දානව නෙවෙයි, right? But I see I have even consulted many people who is having that category, right? I have done individual consulting sessions to big CEOs who is not even having A levels, right? But A levels නැහැ කියන එක ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෙවෙයි. So they learn some tips from us. Some මම එක CEO කෙනෙක්ට හැම week එකේම every week I have done 2 hours for 6 months, right? Every week when I was a university student in the 3rd year or the I think 4th year beginning, I think someone's mic is okay. So when I was in the university 4th year, I did individual consulting to CEOs, right? Even big PLC wala CEOs lata man kalla tiyena. So for 6 months, that is after 6 months, he learned everything. He asked me how to read a financial statement. The people who are coming to the board, right? He was having more than 10,000 employees under him, right? So see, right? But he is not even a professional guy, right? He was the owner of that company. So he told, so when I meet in the board of directors, everyone is coming there and talking about the financial. I don't understand anything. So I went there 6 months. I taught everything. So after that, he was like destroying in the board. But then why? He was an intelligent person, but he didn't educate it, right? So he got that knowledge from me. He continued it. So why he is having that to develop the business, right? So what is my idea on this? If you are a university student, if you are even a outside university student, please make sure educated people like you should have to start business, right? I don't encourage students who work there. I encourage students who work there for like few years, right? And then start something, then focus on that. Because if you are not the person who is going to start a business, who should do that? ඔයා නෙවෙයි නම් business එකක් පටන් ගන්න ඕනේ කවුද කරන්න ඕනේ? ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් ඔයා විභාගේ පාස් වෙලා අමාරුවෙන්, right? You put all your hard work and you get through the exam and you are coming to work under someone, right? Who is even not achieving something like you. No, it is not the thing you have to do. The thing is now, even I'm a chartered accountant, but I agree, even chartered accountants are not going for businesses. They are not going to get a risk. Risk ekata baya you bad. Man make the salary ganna wane mata meka nathi wunu, right? Even I was getting a good salary, right? So when I was in university, right, in the 4th year, I was a manager, right? In that time, I was the one who is getting the highest salary in my university, right? I got a 6-digit number in final year, right? When others just started the training. So when I was a manager, I resigned from that, right? Huge risk. So when my old other department, so we had 180 students. So all other 179 students were getting a lower salary than me. But the highest salary paid student resigned from the job. Why? Because I saw a different one than that, right? So when I was at KPMG, so when I was a manager, I did some personal classes, right? Personal classes කරනකොට මම ඇත්තටම earn කරා අර salary එකට වගේ double විතර, right? So whatever I am getting from the job. So then I was doing some online sessions. New Zealand, Australia වලට ගියපු Sri Lankan students lagging, whoever the students who are going to universities or degree වලට. So I did some personal sessions from the 2nd year of university, as I remember. Skype link I did through Skype, right? So then I got my another lecturer, so we need to combine. So we thought, why should not bring this to the Sri Lanka, to a wider audience? So we did that. So once I wanted to resign from that particular firm, organization, I was earning some money from my private individual tuition, right? So then I was not getting a risky decision. Why? Because I am earning something. Mama risky. Then me job beginning I know kela me hikapat other job beginning I ngela hit a business ka you cannot do that. So what you have to do is you have to balance this, right? So once you are in the job, you have to start the business. So there will be a point that your business will grow. May business a point, right? So there will be a point that this business will grow. You are in this existing job. This is the business. So when this business goes, so then you can give up this. Make a business. Right? You can't do that. Right? So what you have to do is let's educate, get the education, right? Let's get the degree, let's get the professional qualification, whatever you are following. So after that, maybe you can go for a job. Even that is also kind of experience. Even if you want to start something, a business, maybe select a job that is suitable for that category. If you want to manufacture something, go for a manufacturing company. If you want to do a service, maybe go for that service, right? If you want to go for agriculture, go for agriculture plantation company. So get the experience. So while you are in that, try to start your business. So then when the business is going up, there will be a time that you can take a decision, right? But you have to put your maximum, right? Right? So when I was there in KPMG, mama classes right? I was coming home around 1:32, right? So next day I have to wake up at 6. Right? Because at that time I was getting married, but wedding I had to earn money for that as well. So I was going through very challenging period, but I did that. Why? To achieve something, you have to put your maximum, right? Then කට්ටිය කවුරු හරි බලාගෙන ඉන්නවා හිතනවා ඇති මේ ළමයි ගොඩක් ඉන්නවා ස්ටුඩන්ට්ස් ලා ගොඩක් ඉන්නවා big institute මරුනේ නෑ ළමයි ඒ මරු නෑ ඒ මරු පේනවා ඇති දැන් but you have to put your all maximum to reach something, right? So ඒ වෙලාවේදී ඒ decision එක ගත්ත ඉඳ තමයි අද මෙහෙම ඉන්නේ. So for you also, if you want to start a business, make sure අර කවුරුත් අනලා බත්තවල බත් අනලා කවන්නේ බත් ඔයා හොයාගන්න ඕනේ එළවලු ඔයා හොයාගන්න ඕනේ. You have to do that, right? You have to find everything. No one is there for you to find, right? You have to find everything. You have to build that. What you have to do is you have to increase your business, develop your business. You have to develop. So there will be a point that you can take a decision. So at that time, maybe you can resign from the job. So you are protected from the business. Now focus on your business full time, then do whatever you need. So that is the strategy, right? කවුරුවත් business එකක් කරනවා කියන්නේ අද job එකෙන් අයින් වෙලා හෙට යනවා කියන එක නෙවෙයි. Now if you are a university student, maybe why you cannot do the initial initiative, right, to start a business. Now when I was at university, I did this, right? Now Onlineaccounting.lk started in 2019. We incorporated in 2018, but actually I have started this business in 2016. This is I'm not telling as business institute. I started in 2016. Why? That was the point I started doing online classes, right? That was the point where I started delivering lectures through online where no one is interested. So that is where I got the experience. That is where I took the early advantage, right? Now, if you want to do a manufacturing company, you have to looking at to manufacture that particular thing now. What if you want to sell vegetables, if you want to go for agriculture, you have to grow those now, right? You have to do that now. If you want to start something in another 3-4 years, make me other ayingela salli hoyagena hita business ekak patan ganna bෑ. That's what students are thinking. No. If you want to achieve something, you should have a proper plan. එතනට වෙනකම් පොඩ යන්න ඒක. අනිත් ඒවා කර එක කරන්න. Even you don't need to tell to others, right? Just individual, from your individual capacity, just try to do that. Okay. So then there will be a day, right? There will be a day that you can succeed, right? So that is what I'm always telling you, right? So that is what I'm telling you. So when you're looking at the presentation, right? When you're looking at the presentation, so this is what the conclusion on that, right? So there will be a day that this will become around 50, 60, right? But to go into that level, right? To have 50, 60, at least 100, right? Or 80 people should have to start business, right? So when 800 people from other category trying to start a business, at least if we can 100 here, maybe you can have around 80, 70 for this, right? So that is where even the Sri Lanka as a country can develop, right? Because in other countries, the educated people are going for businesses. This is in Sri Lanka, if you see only 3%, only 3% are having businesses, right? So a 3% lagin තමයි හැමදාම අපි යපෙන්න වෙලා තියෙන්නේ, right? So others are working under them. Okay, so we are not providing something to the world. Why? Because we don't have good entrepreneurs. We are having entrepreneurs. We are having people who is having entrepreneurship skill. අපි ගාව ඉන්නවා මේ skill එක තියෙන. ඒගොල්ලෝ මොකද කරන්නේ? ඒගොල්ලෝ කාගේ හරි වැඩ කරනවා. That's all, right? So they are working under someone. The people who is having that skill is working under someone. That's the reason in Sri Lanka. මම දන්නේ ඒකේ අපේ අර attitude වල තියෙන එකක්ද කියලා අර ඒ කාලේ සුද්ධ ඇවිල්ලා අපේ අර හිටපු හොඳ පොරවල් ටික මරලා ආපු හින්දා ඒකේ අර blood එකෙන් ඇවිල්ලා නැද්ද කියලා අපේ. But that කම්මැලිකම, right? That laziness is there with us, right? So if you see the people, එයාගොල්ලන්ට lazyයෙන් හැමදේම ඕනේ. Now if I see the students වල ඔක්කොම අපි කියන්නේ. Now if I see the students from chartered level වල ඔක්කොම කියන්නේ. We have to tell everything. So in our time, we were like finding something like that, but student wants everything to be feeded. ඔක්කොම ළඟට ඇවිල්ලා කවන්න ඕනේ. අන්න එහෙම වුණාම ජීවිතේ business එකක් පටන් ගන්න. එහෙම කරන්න බෑ නම. Right? You have to find that. You have to put your maximum. Please note that if you are going to start a business, no one is there, right, to help like you are working in a company, right? If you want to start a business, you have to tolerate everything. 24 hours maybe you have to do that, right? So when we were starting online accounting, so I was the one who coordinated videographers, who coordinated lecturers, right? Who uploaded videos, even who designed some of the Facebook posts, right? Only the students like matters answer කරන එක විතරයි මම කරන්නේ. I gave my wife help for that. But now today I'm not doing that anything. Why? So because that day I did that, and because of that we have developed this. So now we are having around 60 plus staff and lecturers. So why? Because of that commitment. So you also have to expect that, right? So those challenges can be there, but whatever challenges, if you can take it, no one can stop you, right? Even no one can stop a person who is educated. Normal කෙනෙක්ව stop කරත්, but an educated person කෙනෙක්ව stop කරන්න අමාරුයි. Why? එයා educated, එයාට knowledge එකක් තියෙනවා. එයා නිකන් කෙනෙක් නෙවෙයි. එයා knowledge එක grab කරන් තියෙනවා. එයා මහන්සිලා තියෙනවා. He has put their time, right? She put her time to grab the knowledge. And so that's why I'm telling always the people, students, university students, qualified professionals who is getting a knowledge, right, should start business. දැන් මම එතනින් කියන අනිත් කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ කියන එක නෙවෙයි. මම කියන්නේ අර educated අය කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා. They have to do that. හැබැයි මේ කොච්චර කිව්වත් ඔයාලා බය වෙනව කරන්න. අනිත් එක other thing is, make sure after 30 it will be difficult for you to start business, right? After 30 වගේ වෙනකොට you have family commitments, okay, family backgrounds, okay, maybe you are getting married, so you see that you are getting a permanent income, or you can deviate when you may have children. So in that case, very difficult. ඒ වෙලාවට ඒ decision එක ගන්න, that is very difficult. So what you have to start is the range of 23 to 29. 23 to 29 would be the best days that you can start a business. But if you are now 19, 20, 21, 22, that doesn't mean that you don't need to try it. You have to try it now. You have to see what kind of thing that you have to do, and also make sure you have to have a passion for that. Now, why I'm developing this institute? Because I am a passionate lecturer. I want to now see the way I'm doing this lecture, right? I should have මෙතන ඉඳලා බට බලාගෙන මේක කියවගෙන යන්න පුළුවන්. The way I'm doing that, I'm doing in lectures. So why? I'm passionate on that. I'm passionate on motivating people. I'm passionate on encouraging people, right? I'm passionate on teaching the knowledge, giving the knowledge to the students. So because of that passion, I put that passion into our institute, right? So when I'm lecturing from this way, I have instructed others also to do that good work. So this is the reason why the success of the institute, the online accounting, came into this level. So make sure whatever you do, if you are starting a business, you have to be passionate, right? You have to be passionate enough for continue that business. එහෙම නැතුව කැමැත්තක් නැති business පටන් අරන් කරන්න බෑලම. ඇත්ත කතාව එක කරන්න බෑ. නිකන් කවුරු හරි business එකක් කියවට දැන් යාළුවෙක් කියනවා මෙහෙම කරමුද කියලා. එහෙම කරාට යාළුවා කියන එකට ඔයා කැමති නැත්නම් කරන්න එපා. Because එහෙම වැඩක් නැහැ. It will not come, right? You should have the passion. ඔයාගේ ඔළුවේ ඔයාමයි තියෙන්නේ. මෙතන ඉන්න එක එක්කෙනා. There are around 30 members now. So all these 30 members are having a different viewpoint, right? Different interest. එක්කෙනෙක් කැමති එකකට අනිත් එක්කෙනා කැමති එකකට. So what you have to do is focus on that particular thing that you like, right? So then based on that develop. But what is more important is start, right? What start karando? Something you have to start. Not as a business, not as a legal body. දැන් අපේ ගොඩක් කට්ටිය යන්නේ business එක පටන් ගන්නවා කියන්නේ හරි. Company incorporation එකක් දාමු. So let's do the company incorporation. So let's get the directors. ටක් ගාලා director කියලා නම දා ගන්නවා, right? So let's say අර ඔක්කොම ටික ඒව හදාගන්න. No. You can't do like that. First of all, you should have that background. මුලින්ම මොකක් හරි කරන්න. Then you do that. Then ඔය legally ඔක්කොම කරගන්න, right? But first of all, you have to start. Starting point is not others. අර ඒව කරගෙන ගියොත් පුතේ ඔයාට කරන්න වෙන්නේ නැහැ business එක. පොඩ්ඩක් හරි පොඩියට කරන්න, right? පොඩියට කරන්න. So let's say if you want to sell something in future, then ඒක විකුණලා බලන්න. So I can remember when I was there in the university, one of my friends, he prepared yogurt, right? Yogurt හදලා ගෙදරින් අම්මත් එක්ක හදාන් ඇවිල්ලා අපිට විකුණනවා, right? Now he is having a good yogurt business. ඒ කාලේ අපි second year ඉන්නකොට after we are done with the lunch, so he is telling, oh අහනවා අනිත් දවසේ ඔයාට ඕනේද කියලා. So he is selling. And එතන ඉඳලා එයා පුරුදු වුණා. That from that point onwards he grew up, right? So now he is having that business. But what I'm telling you is you have to start something, right? So that's the conclusion. So what you have to looking at is, doesn't matter, right? How slowly, right? Doesn't matter how slowly you go, but as long as you do not stop. ඒ කියන්නේ කොච්චර slow එකේ ගියාද කියන එක වැඩක් නැහැ. අර එකපාරට අද පටන් අරන් හෙට business එක අද හිතලා හෙට business එකක් පටන් ගන්නවා. එහෙම එකක් කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ, right? You have to start it, right? You can go slowly. අර මේ jet එකෙන් යන්න බෑ ළමයි. You can go in the bicycle, right? That's fine. But you cannot stop. That's the whole idea. Even if you follow something, even if you follow professional qualification, if you are following studies, if you are attending for training, if you are starting a business, make sure you cannot stop. That's not important. So it doesn't matter. Other people can go fastly. Speed, but make sure go slowly, right? Slowly, hurry, yanna, don't stop. So start. If you want to start a business, start it. That's what I'm telling always. Start it. Don't stop. Podda hari yanna. There will be a time, right? There will be a time that you can develop that to the next level. So that time you have to put all your maximum. But till that, slowly yanna. Namattanne epa. Make it iwasanno ne gamana. You have to tolerate this, right? So in that case, definitely everyone can start a business. So I hope whoever joined to this session will start a business in one day, right? So this is like around 10 or 15 session I have done from the entrepreneurship. So in each of these entrepreneurship session, the final few words I'm telling as I want everyone to become good businessmen, good entrepreneurs. Hamom entrepreneurs and known not everyone should have to become entrepreneurs. There should be business people, right? There should be businessmen as well. The people now, if Apple came, right? The Samsung, what they have done, they have copied, but now Samsung also good product, right? So everyone not should be the entrepreneurs. Now, when we have done Onlineaccounting.lk, many competitors came, they have also copied, but we didn't tell anything, right? So industry growing. So there should be people like that. So that's what you have to understand. Everyone cannot be entrepreneurs, right? So maybe you can be a businessman. Maybe you can do something which is in the existing market. That's not true, right? So maybe you can see whatever the weaknesses in the current products, maybe you can put that modification, addition, and you can start. The services you can see, right? So education also, whatever the professional education, what we are doing is, so we saw weaknesses in physical classes, so we have given a solution. So you can see what are the problems currently having, right? Business if you want to do a business in 3 years, now just evaluate, inspect that business. Products customers perspective, see what customers are looking for, see the current weaknesses. So see the current weaknesses and try to put something, right? Try to give solution for that. And you can build the idea, but a idea ka build karana gama chutta hari podi hari kala testing karana, right? ඔය හැමදේම ඔක්කොම කරලා එකපාරට පටන් ගන්න බෑ පුතේ. ඒක තමයි ඇත්ත. සමහර අය හොඳට සල්ලි වියදම් කරනවා. They spend more, they put more, so many buildings, right? Office එකක් ගන්නවා, incorporation කරනවා, ඔක්කොම කරනවා, fail වෙනවා. Why? They didn't test it, right? So I have tested online education before investing on this. I have tested online education through individual classes. I saw the success. That's the reason why I started this. නැත්තම් ළමයි සල්ලි වියදම් කරලා වෙබ්සයිට් එකක් හදලා, right? මේක කොහොම කරොත් අර වියදම් කරන සල්ලිත් අපරාධ. Invested money is getting in vain. So I have tested that. You also have to test, right? ඒ ටෙස්ට් කරන තැනට එන්න ඕනේ. හැමදේම ඉන්වෙස්ට් කරලා නෙවෙයි. You should be smart. So where you have to come to the point, right? So before come to that point, you have to test this in a smaller way. පොඩ්ඩියට පටන් ගෙන බලන්න, is it good or bad? See the customer experience. If it is good, then go to the large level, right? You will get the business. So I hope everyone on this session will start something in future. I really want you to do that, because I hope everyone of you having that entrepreneur, that businessman in your mind, right? Maybe in your, that is a skill of you, but you are not discovering that. You are not trying to get that businessman, get that entrepreneur out of you. So please just rethink about that. If you are just going for the work, now there are people who will be going to that positions, right? So there are people who cannot start business, no problem. But if you can, I hope definitely you can also be a successful businessman, successful entrepreneur, right? I don't tell that I'm a successful one, right? I will be a successful one. Maybe when I bring some USD to Sri Lanka, so that's my objective. But maybe if you want to get something from my speech, that is what you have to start something, but you cannot stop. Slowly go on. One day you will become a very good entrepreneur or a businessman, right? So that's what I wanted to say. If you have any question, just ask me, right? So let me know whether you are having any questions. So you can send to the chat box. So I hope everyone is getting ready to watch the Asia Cup final. Right? So we have just won the netball, right? Girls won the netball, so boys will be playing that. Right? Right. So any questions? Do you have any questions? I'm happy to answer. Do you have any questions? So, okay. So thank you. Messages are there. Right. So I hope no questions, right? Anyone from the admin panel of the Vikings, right? So thank you for inviting for me for this session. Yes, right. So if you okay, I see you some Facebook posts you work in Fiverr. May I know the other online platform you earn money? So I am not working currently. I worked as a freelancer, right? I did some graphic design. So when in the university first year, so just after A levels, I was looking at the ways that I can earn money. So I saw a website called Fiverr where you can put the advertisement and you can do the jobs that is from the other countries. So even I didn't know anything in Photoshop and all, but I search in YouTube and all, I learned it. So then for like university up to now, I have earned around $20,000 from Fiverr. But now I'm not doing, right? Now I'm not doing because for my time it is not worth. But anyway, when I was a university student to earn something, I did like that. Now it is so competitive, I think. But anyway, you also can do something like that, right? So how to analyze the external environment before starting the business? Any tips you use? Now this is like that. How to analyze the external environment? Now this is now theoretically me kina wage api me model ekak dala, you get the model, you put that. This is something not like that, right? It is based on your sense, right? Then when you go for that, you cannot make sure this, right? You cannot reduce all the risk. Online education I have seen risk. Then කාටවත් 100% perfect වෙන්න බෑ. Make sure. No one is 100% perfect. Now even in our politics also, we need 100% perfect. No, right? No one can be like that. If you want to start a business, you will see some risk. Having said that, right, you cannot have 100% secure business. No. Probability is there to have some kind of challenges, risk. You have to start, right? So that business sense is enough. So how to develop, how to analyze that without a background, without an experience, very difficult for you to analyze, right? So what you have to do is, right? Yeah, I can give you the email address, right? I will send you, right? Because anyway, I'm getting many messages to these two. Can you share your experience on your first pitch to external investors? No, actually, Satil, what I have done, so I haven't pitched something to the external investor. So I had one of my lecturer. So he was also keen on online education. So actually, he was the one who invested, right? So at that time, I didn't have money, but so he was the one who invested. So I'm the one who was managing everything. So that is where I found. But if you want to now, let's say, if you want to, that's what I'm telling you. Now people think that they need a big money to start something, but that's not the correct thing. The thing is, if you want to start something, you can go with the lowest possible way to do that, right? එතනදී අපි හැම වෙලාවෙම big picture ලොකු එක බලනවා ලොකුම තැන බැලුවම තමයි අපිට හිතන්නේ ගොඩාක් සල්ලි ඕනේ කියලා. You need more money. But there will be step that you can start, right? එහෙම කරලා, but you have to find it, right? You have to find people who would like to join with you, right? You have to do some negotiations, right? දැන් මෙහෙම සමහරලාට අපි හැමෝම හිතනවා යාළුවොත් එක්ක එකතු වෙන්න ඕනේ. මේ යාළුවෝ නෙවෙයි, යාළුවෝ නැති අයත් එක්කත් එකතු වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Sometimes even friends lat එක්ක එකතු වුණාම ඔක්කොටම වඩා මුන් එකෙක්වත් වැඩ කරා right අර friends lat එකතු යාළුවෝ දෙන්නේ තුන් දෙනෙක් එකතු කර ගන්නවා කිව්වත් බලන්න ඕනේ ඒගොල්ලෝ ඇත්තටම මේක පුළුවන් කෙනෙක්ද right if you are going to find someone from your friends you have to see whether they are capable of doing that just because of their friends of you cannot just go for a business okay so you have to find them finding is kind of an art so there is no protocols no dictionaries that you have to see social connections right if you are in the university having relationship with your friends so that those things will be really helpful for you to find people right අර හැමෝත් එක්කම කතා කරන්න මොකද අන්තිමට ළමයි මොනෝ කරත් මිනිස්සු තමයි වැදගත් right සල්ලි නෙමෙයි මිනිස්සු වැදගත් ඒ මිනිස්සු ඉන්නකම් වාට ඔයා හොඳ මිනිස්සු ආශ්‍රය කරනකම් if you find good people then definitely you can be successful right so can you share that how you target the audience in beginning stages so definitely we have targeted the audience based on the Facebook marketing actually right we didn't have so much of channels to do that but I always had the creativity in my mind right so I gave some advices to the people even I was doing those days so advices to our people to do marketing so we touch with a different way to get the attention from the students but whatever you do make sure from marketing you will get students or sales in the first stage but to maintain your sales maintain your customers you have to improve your quality right you can attract people from marketing but you cannot continue people from marketing right you have to continue people from your quality right so whatever the marketing at the initial stages make sure you do it but ගොඩක් startup fail when this is a reason කොච්චර කරත් quality එක නැහැ if you do that in quality right so I can remember when I was in the university second year අපි t-shirt එකක් මැහුවා අපේ department එකටම right t-shirt දෙකක් මැහුවා ඇත්තටම accounting in that those days we had the sport fiesta or something right I was the one who got that job ඒ කියන්නේ මට තමයි ඒ job එක හම්බුනේ t-shirt මහන්න මම මොකද කරේ I selected two people to manufacture that t-shirt I can remember ඒ දවස්වල එක්කෙනෙක් දුන්නේ 600 අනිත් එක්කෙනා දුන්නේ 550 right 600 එක blue color එක 550 එක black color එක right 550 t-shirt එක you can I don't know whether you will believe even currently also I'm having that t-shirt in high quality right ළඟදී online accounting එකට recently last year I wanted to create a manufacture a t-shirt for our staff and the lecturers right you know I remember that person in the person who I contacted in 2014 to manufacture that t-shirt now he's having a very big shop he's having a I'm not telling the name right big brand එකක් එයා so I just contacted he even remember me so why I contacted him because of the quality right so this is the second time that I wanted to create a t-shirt right customized t-shirt first time එකේ මම අර දෙන්නෙක් select කර I selected two people but අර quality එක තිබුණ කෙනාගේ අර t-shirt එකේ quality එක තිබුණ කෙනා මට මතක් කළා මම එයාට කතා කරා so what is important you can do marketing to get people at the initial stages but make sure මොකක් කරන්න පුතේ right දැන් අපේ ක්ලාස් එකට එක ළමෙක් ආවත් අපි හරියට උගන්වන්න ඕනේ එතකොට තමයි එයා කියලා තව ළමයි දෙන්නෙක්ට කියන්නේ so if you sell something if you do something make sure ඒ number එක බලලා decision ගත්තොත් ඔයාට හරියන්නේ නැහැ right success වෙන්නේ නැහැ එක වැඩේද කරන්න if you do one thing right make sure do in your highest quality that person will create you sales that person will create you numbers right so do marketing at the initial stages but to continue right grow your sales make sure you have to do that in the highest quality right okay so any question what's your advice on cope up with the current market condition okay so current market condition I can give you many but this is not the right time right so anyway you have to think Buddha right you have to think because this is something that what I see personally may be something different in others right so currently actually I'm not into the thinking of business. So ඔක්කොම කියන්නේ සල්ලි නෙවෙයි, right? අපි earn කරන්න ඕනේ, but we have to be happy, right? So I'm doing CA strategic, okay, CFA. Okay, right. Right. I will. No, if I'm getting any request from universities and all, I don't reject, right? So even when I got this, I'm having another one in few minutes. So another actually discussion meeting. So I told, I think Imani contacted me. So I told she was putting, she had to put this in 6 p.m. 6 p.m. තමයි මෙච්චරලා කටියෙ නැති වෙයි මොකද මැච් එකට තමයි right. So I told, oh, can we shift this to 5 p.m. So if yes, I can do that. So I'm not rejecting that normally. Why I'm doing these sessions, because you will be the future, right? අර මම success වෙලා හරි මට මේකක් තියනවා කියලා හරි ඔයාලා වෙනවට කැමති නැති එහෙම එකක් නෑ පුතේ. මට ඕනෙත් හැමෝම දිනන්න ඕනේ, right? Everyone should win this, right? If I have something, it is my responsibility to tell you that. It's my responsibility to increase your entrepreneurship skills, encourage you, so you also will become someone like me, right? මට වඩා හොඳ කෙනෙක් වෙයි, right? මට in our charter මට කවදාවත් ප්‍රයිස් එකක් ගන්න බැරි වුණා. හැමදාම මට ප්‍රයිස් මිස් වුණා එක ලකුණෙන් දෙකෙන්. මම දැන් අනිත් හැම ළමයාට මට තිබුණ ප්‍රොබ්ලම් බලලා ඒව මගහැර ගන්න කියලා මම ළමයිට කියනවා. right? Because I am getting that satisfaction by seeing the students are achieving something like that. So even if you become, right, ඔයාතව ඉස්සරහට යනකොට මතක තියාගන්න, maybe in 5-10 years you will be invited to this kind of a session, but make sure you have to share your knowledge, right? You have to encourage the younger generation at that time. එතනදී ඔයා කියාගලා අනේ මම මේවා කියන්නේ ඒතර අනිත් අයත් ගොඩ යන්නේ එහෙම කියන්න එපා. You also have to do that. If that is being continued only, this country will be developed, right? So that is what we have to do. මොකද අපේ අර ගොඩක් මිනිස්සුන්ගේ තියෙනවනේ නිකන් අර ඇතුලේ තියාගෙන ඉන්න ඉරිසියාව තියෙනවා කාටවත් කියන්නේ, right? So we have to go out of that perception. So in future, I hope you also will continue what I'm doing, right? So all the very best to you all. So I hope those are the questions, right? Okay. So thank you so much.
Very much, sir. I think our audience had a great and a productive time today. So as we are about to wind up today's session, I would like to thank our guest speaker, Mr. Hashan Waduge, and Advisory Director Board and the Executive Board of the Viking Club Professional Skills Team and the organizing committee and all the Vikings who joined us today. Session until we meet again with another session. So take care and good night.